Okay, real talk. Galbrena might be the first Resonator who made players question their moral compass and their wallet at the same time. She's fast, brutal, stylish, and completely unhinged. She doesn't just show up in your roster, she kicks down the door, steals the spotlight, and dares you to call it a wise investment. She's the kind of character that turns a simple, maybe I'll test her kit into an existential crisis. She's both your biggest temptation and your newest justification. But as always, the question that keeps haunting everyone, should you actually pull for her or maybe it's smarter to hold out? Yo, welcome back to the channel. Kamusta po sa inyong lahat? Okay, let's start from the chaos. Galbrena doesn't play fair. Her kit demands the spotlight and she's not here to share it. People call her the first real hyper carry in the fusion category. And it's not hard to see why. Brant, Lupa, Changli, they play nice. They take turns, they share damage. Galbrena walks in, takes the mic, and makes sure nobody else gets airtime. Her echo skill scaling looks like it skipped the balance check. And her burst hits so hard, you start wondering if Q&A took the day off. But before you dive headfirst into the gotcha abyss, it's worth taking a deep breath and zooming out for a second. Wuthering Waves version 3.0 isn't just another patch. It's a new frontier that could rewrite the entire narrative. Every major update so far has flipped the meta table. 1.0 brought the foundation. 2.0 introduced echo mechanics and the negative status conditions. And 2.5 started teasing entirely new systems of resonance interaction. So, 3.0, it could be the biggest shakeup yet. Think new regions, new mechanics, maybe even new elemental synergies that breaks existing team compositions. And this is why pulling Galbrena right now feels like standing at the edge of a cliff. Thrilling, but risky. On one hand, she could end up being a timeless powerhouse, the kind of resonator that stays relevant no matter how the rules change. And on the other, she might become another victim of meta evolution. Power crept before the banner even fades. It's the eternal gamble of gotcha timing, chasing the now or betting onto the future. That said, Kuro didn't make her just to be a placeholder. Galbrena's toolkit feels refined, responsive, and refreshingly self-sufficient. She doesn't rely on stacking, debuffs, or conditional triggers. You press buttons and things explode. It's that simple. For free-to-play players, that's a godsend. And even at S0, she competes with top-tier DPS units. In short fights especially, she could be a monster. Aesthetically though, let's not pretend she's not designed to sell banners. I mean, the outfit, the wings, the posture, it's all marketing genius. She radiates danger and allure in equal measure. She's the kind of character that makes you say, I'll do just one 10 pull. And then suddenly, you're staring at your pity counter, wondering what went wrong. Now, when it comes to team synergy, this is where things get really interesting. Shui Yuan remains her ideal partner in crime, amplifying her echo skill damage with crit damage buffs that push her burst output into absurd territory. Together, they create a rhythm where his support windows perfectly overlap her detonation timings. But here's the beautiful part. You don't actually need Shui Yuan to make her shine. Galbrena's kit is self-reliant enough that she clicks seamlessly with the several alternatives. Brant, for example, brings valuable nuke damage with the sustain, while Lupa's damage buffs allow her to unleash more fusion devastation. Changli, on the other hand, can turbocharge her resonance liberation, and Mortifi adds a little spice as well, giving her heavy attack buffs, though in practice, those only account for roughly 30% of her overall damage output. Her true power comes from echo skill damage bonuses, so prioritizing teammates or gear that amplify that side of her kit pays off massively. And if you can't field any of these top picks, don't panic. Verena or Shorekeeper, and even Frolova are fantastic fallback supports, providing both sustain and general damage amplification. They keep her alive long enough to dish out more damage and, let's face it, A dead Galbrena can't flex her chaos, right? The key takeaway? She's incredibly plug and play, even without the perfect meta setup. She will perform like a star from the moment you deploy her. But let's not kid ourselves. Every time a new resonator drops, the real tension isn't about whether they're strong right now, it's about what Kuro plans to do next. The studio has built a reputation for unpredictable power curves and sudden mechanical overhauls, and that keeps everyone both excited and kinda terrified. Are we stepping into another hype cycle designed to drain our pulse before the next big thing? Maybe, but history gives us clues. Chisa, for example, might become just as good or even better depending on what role Kuro decides to give her. And if we look back at characters like Carlotta or Augusta, the ones built on solid fundamentals and less gimmicky effects like smooth rotations, self-sufficient kits, and consistent scaling, they tend to stay relevant far longer than anyone expects. Flashy gimmicks fade, but solid design endures. And Galbrena feels like she belongs in that camp. She's not a gimmick. Maybe she's a blueprint for raw numbers, accessible power, and clean mechanics that make her instantly effective. There's no clunky setup, no dependency on niche conditions, just results. And in live service gacha, where trends change faster than patch notes load, that kind of stability is what defines true longevity. So where does that leave us? Somewhere perhaps between smart investment and shameless indulgence. Galbrena sits in that sweet, dangerous spot where logic and impulse collide. She's practical enough to justify, but flashy enough to tempt even the most disciplined player. So if you already have a fully optimized mono fusion team, you can skip her without losing any crucial mechanics. Your roster will still perform fine, and you won't suddenly fall behind in endgame content. But if you're craving something that reignites that spark, a resonator that makes combat feel exhilarating the moment you tap the attack button, Galbrena is the kind of character who makes the game feel alive again. She may not top every DPS chart, she may not be the flashiest either, but the sheer satisfaction of her gameplay loop makes her feel like she does. And maybe that's the real secret to her appeal. Wuthering Waves isn't just a numbers game after all. It's a sensory experience built on rhythm, tension, and sometimes even emotion. The sound of her shots, the timing of her detonation, the way her wings unfold mid-combo, it all hits that primal gamer satisfaction that no spreadsheet can ever measure. So, if she speaks to your instincts, don't overthink it. Pull her, enjoy her, let her chaos become part of your world. But if you're a patient planner waiting for 3.0's new mechanics and power curve, holding your resources is equally valid. Either way, Galbrena already accomplished what few characters manage to do. She made you stop, think, and feel before you pulled the trigger, literally and figuratively. So if this video resonated with you, please leave a like for added heavy attack buffs, subscribe for more Echo skill damage, and hit the bell for massive gacha blessings. May Galbrena waters become havers. Thank you so much for watching. Maraming salamat po, and I will see you in the next video drop. Goodbye!